Hello, 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 and welcome to the second annual Owwies. Yes, this is the Skyrim edition of the second annual Owwies, the award show that hurts. Alright, so now all awards are based on views. Views of the videos of the mods that I covered in 2020. This is all based on that. So you're going to have categories and popular mods that the videos were viewed a lot. I did not include mods that are no longer up at the time of this viewing or recording. Sorry, recording. At the time of this recording, I'm only including mods that are up, not any mods that are gone, except for some honorable mentions. And I am not including any mods that are broken. If we found mods, even no matter how many views it got, if it was like really a broken, mod that didn't work, then, we didn't use that. Now, there's not really an exception to that. There may be minor issues with some mods, but that's not the same as being broken and unusable, okay? So, alright. So, I will be your host, such as it is, such as the show is. This is our show. This is what we get. Now remember, there will be no guests, there will be no rock bands, no special appearances by Keanu Reeves or anyone else, okay? I don't have the kind of budget for that, and we're just not doing it. So, first, I want us to have a moment of silence. Now, a moment of silence here, this is going to be for mods that are gone, that have been taken down, that would have been in this award show, and then of course also a moment of silence for the modders that have left us on Bethesda here. That and I'm not really doing this. I'm being a little facetious, but I mean seriously, it's sad that we've lost these modders. It's too bad that they have gone. And that now we have to rely on other people to port stuff over, and sometimes what they port isn't exactly the same as what we originally had, or, anyway, or it's kind of, I don't know, it's not the same. Anyway, a lot of mods are no longer on Bethesda that were on Bethesda. So, we want to have just a moment of silence for Wickwa, for Vane 0.3805, and I can't even remember probably some of the other modders that have left. Mods that we've noticed are gone, are missing. Engelges 23 Body Replacer, that was a very popular mod. And the Engelges 23 Armor Replacer, the Bad Dog Uunp that Wickwa had ported over and made for that body. Then there was also the 7-base Owwies body with the chainmail. As we know, that was my personal favorite, but it also would have been on this list. And in that same vein, Wickwa's Uunp, the Uunp body replacer, if you remember that. Also, I think it had the chainmail underwear. But it was just a very nice Uunp body, and we don't have one. With that being gone, we don't have that at all now. So it's sad. So, there's also an honorable mention here for a mod that was put up, perhaps without permissions, and it was, or perhaps because this mod may have shown a little of the naughties, It was Uunp Nini, Nini, Pack 1, and I don't even hardly remember what was in that pack, but that was a very popular mod video. Unfortunately, that mod was taken down shortly after I put it up. So, alright, and that's not to say that it was my fault it was taken down. It may have been taken down before I even got my video up, actually. So let's just have a moment of silence. Okay, that's all I can stand. So we had our moment of silence, and seriously, while I'm being a bit silly, it is sad. We do need to remember that modders do these things. They create and share these mods just to be nice. A lot of times, they create the mods for themselves, but then they figure since they've created it, they will share it. but sometimes they create mods from the very beginning with the intent of sharing it. So, you know, and it's not like they're getting paid for it. You know, now I admit some appear to have some levels of support, and that's fine, but all that support is optional. So they may not get any support at all for what they create. So we need to remember that through creating these things, that it's a kindness on their part to just create that and share that. While it's okay for us to ask, you know, for maybe a port or for maybe a change, or, you know, offer an idea or suggestion, we shouldn't be, you know, demanding. We definitely shouldn't be hateful or mean or cruel. But my understanding is sometimes the people on Bethesda that I guess are talking to the modders, I guess my understanding is in the comments some people get kind of rude and abusive, and you know, I'm sorry, that should never be the case. Okay, alright, so that's our public service announcement. So sorry that went longer than I intended, but it's important to remember that, you know, it's important to remember how we should be and what our attitude should be. Okay, alright, so, and also, let's see, we also have honorable mentions. Okay, so I have 2 honorable mentions because they did not quite make it into our top 15 videos, nor, let's see, did they win their category? No, they did not win their category. Honorable mention. The Ultimate Dodge mod, doesn't matter which version you use. You can use the XP32 compatible version or the non-XP32. Anyway, don't worry about it. You can use either one depending on what you're using. If you use XP32, you should probably use that one. Remember, if you install this mod, do a very extreme hard reset. Turn your console all the way off. Wait at least 30 seconds. Turn it back on. Come back into the game. That is after you install it, okay? First you download it, put it in your load order, then turn it off totally, give it 30 seconds, reload. Then this mod will work, okay? I played around with it some, and if you do a soft reset, it will not quite work. You really have to do a hard reset. So, and you might have remembered seeing some of that in my testing, because I do testing. Some people think because they see me fooling around in testing that that's all I did, but there's more to it than that. I think I did a couple of shows on this, and one was a testing show. Or maybe I just did one show, but there were several parts to it, where part of it was testing and fooling around, and then, then doing the reset and showing that it worked, really good after that. So nonetheless, this is our first honorable mention. We only have one other, so be right back. Honorable mention. So I know this is getting ridiculous, isn't it? Anyway, so the second honorable mention we're going to have is this character editor all-in-one vanilla customization pack. Basically, they open up some options for you to use for editing your character. No, they do not all work for all races. However, they do work for some races, and when you're fooling around and making your character, you may find that you like some of these options. I've given some of my girls horns. There's hair colors that you can try. There's skin colors. There's some new kind of merged vanilla hairstyles where they kind of overlaid a couple of things together. And again, you have to try it with different races, different characters, but some of them do work really well. Now you may find, like if you're doing a Breton, which I do a lot of Bretons, that some things are like, that doesn't work for them. That's fine. It just doesn't work for them. But generally, if you will try it out, you will find that you have a number of good vanilla options opened up for you. Plus, you get, like I said, some extra hair colors, some extra skin colors, which is nice. You know me, I like to make blue people. Sometimes I try to make a purple person. You've seen it all, I'm sure. Anyway, it's a very small mod. It's a very nice mod. The video was pretty popular, and that's because I think this is a small mod that works pretty well. And it gives you more options to just make your vanilla character. You can use this in conjunction with other mods. Now, sometimes other mods will overlay parts of this so that every race doesn't always get all the options. But if you don't use it with other mods that do that, then you will have all the options that you're supposed to have, okay? But it can, it can vary when you do that mashup and you're like, well, I want to use this and that and this and that. And sometimes then you get this but not that, or that but not this. And, that's life. It happens, all right? Okay, so that is the end of our honorable mentions. And now for our category awards. Now, I want to explain how we came up with the categories, and when I say we, I mean me, okay? So we came up with the categories like this. First, I found a video that had enough views to make it worthwhile to have a category, which in Skyrim you're going to find that there's more categories and more videos and more views than in any other videos of mine. So here we're going to have a few categories. Now, the first category is skin texture. Skin texture. Okay, our favorite skin texture mod of the year was Asher's Quality Cbbe Skin Replacer number 25. I don't know where the other numbers are, but number 25. I don't remember Asher's. I'm sorry, but I did not see any other numbers. Nonetheless, this is a great skin texture replacer for Cbbe on the Xbox. It's not too big. It's under 50 megabytes. And it really looks great. It does. It's very good. So I have used it a lot, and now it will be in our ultimate load order. Alright. And now for the follower category, we have Fragment of Nocturnal. This was a surprising entry to me, but this was the most watched, most interested, I guess, follower mod video that I had all year. That surprised me a lot, but this is the one y'all are interested in, and I admit that it was an interesting mod because it had the two versions of the Fragment of Nocturnal, and I think I don't know if there's really so much a quest as it's just an opportunity for you to learn and get to know this follower. So it's not very big. It's under 18 megabytes. She does look kind of like Nocturnal in the game. And one part of her will wear that, and one part of her will wear the Daedric armor. So she's kind of like two characters in one. A little schizo, but there you have it. And our most favorite armor replacer of 2020 was the Cbbe Nephilim Shape BD, that's Bad Dogs Uunp Armor and Clothing Replacer. This was a port and modified mod by Morrigan for the Nephilim body shape. Okay? They did get permissions and all that business. This is really not too big for what it is and for what it does. It's it's under 400 megabytes, and it is it's kind of a skimpy armor and clothing replacer. Some of them are like bikinis, and then some are more just like maybe like short skirts or that type of thing. Some of them are just very they're not, they are I think all of these are safe for work. I'm trying to remember if there's any exceptions. I think they are. Anyway, it's a very popular armor and clothing replacer, especially if you use the Nephilim body. Okay? So that is our favorite or most popular armor replacer of the year. And our most popular character body, excluding those which were taken down and are removed, is actually Pro's Uunp Seraphim body. Now, you can use this. This can take the place of the old Seraphim body that Alpine YJ took down. They were the original maker, or maybe is maker the right word? I think they're the original author or whatever of the Seraphim body. But this is Pro's version of that, Pro Manslayer. And they produce their own. Now, there is one exception to this. Pro's bodies, they're not too big. Like this one's under 14 megabytes. This is mainly a mesh. However, it does have a skeleton included. You want to make sure that below this body you use XP32, one of the other skeletons, so that it works right. If you don't, you will have a weird glitch where things don't work right. Now, for those of you who already automatically do that, you will never notice that glitch. I only noticed that glitch, and I showed it in my videos because it mentioned it had a skeleton. So, of course, I turned off my skeleton and tried to rely on this body's skeleton, and it doesn't really work correctly. However, the mod itself is not broken. Use XP32 below it like you should, and you will never even see that issue. You will never have any issue. It will be fine. So, and you can always go back to my video of the pro bodies that I did, and you can see where I think I plainly state and show that in those videos. Okay, but this, after the others that were taken down, this was the most popular character body that we did a spotlight on this year. So, surprising but cool in its own way. Alright, the most popular character mod or preset mod, depending on how you look at it, is this definitive beauty pack. Okay? This mod affects your presets, and it actually does a little more than that. You can read here what it does. It basically brings the Botox feel and look to your presets. It also adds in a few things. It adds in some makeup and war paints and things. You can read about that there. It's very nice, very good. It works super well. I've been using it a lot, and I have absolutely had no complaints. It's very good, very nice. I can't even think of this is small. It's not a bloated super mod that is too much to use. It's actually a very nice addition to your load order if you like this. It has nothing to do with the picture of the girl's boobs, okay? I just want you to know that. You have to like Morrigan Helsing's thumbnail or picture selection, but nonetheless, it has nothing to do with that. However, it definitely does work extremely well in your character, and helps you make some very nice, pretty characters. And it's not very big, under 37 megabytes. And you can see it's a very popular mod, and rightfully so. This is a good mod, very good mod, and it's fun and good to use. And it's new. It was new in 2020, back in the spring of 2020. And I think I actually did several shows. I did some testing, and then did a spotlight, and then did another updated spotlight. Because it's just that good. It deserved attention, and it deserves to be mentioned as one of the best mods of the year, definitely. Okay? Alright, moving on. Alright, the most popular female animation mod, actually, the most popular animation mod we had on the channel was just new female animations. Now, this is a small mod, under 5 megabytes. It affects, now I think they say, do they say 271 animations? I have no way to know or prove that, okay? So, make your claims all you want. But, it does change a lot of animations. It does make your character somewhat feminine animated. So even if you're playing a guy, he will sometimes he will do some things that look a little feminine, but it does work. I could not find any issue with it in that sense. When we did our show, we did notice that certain things changed, and it was, it does. I can't prove 271 animations, but it does change animations. It does work. And a lot of people seem to really like it, and there was good interest in it, and it doesn't break your game. Now if you have a bunch of other animations, I would suggest that you probably not use it, because it might break some of those. But you know, that's your choice. You can play around with it and try it. I try not to use too many animations, and I try not to combine a lot of animations because different effects that you can get out of it, okay? Alright, so again, this is our just new female animations, and that is in our animations category. That's the most popular mod of 2020 in that category. Okay, so our most popular Mpc Replacer or Overhaul was actually Morrigan's Mpc Replacer. Now this surprised me because it's actually it's one big mod, 2 files. I'm just going to call it that way, okay? And there are some optional additional files that you can also get. Now, it is a working mod. It does work. When I tried it, I think I tried it with Uunp mods and textures and all that. And I found that for me it didn't look quite the way I wanted. Now in this ultimate load order that we're going to do later, and I will try to take a few moments when we do that show and maybe show some of that, I'm going to be having, or maybe in some playthroughs or something, I'm going to be showing some of these NPCs, and we'll have them in a Cbbe body, and we'll use the Cbbe textures, and that may make it look better because I know that Morrigan Hellsing is really specializing in the Cbbe textures and bodies, so that may actually make a difference and it may work better. Could be that because I was using Uunp that it didn't look as good, but that really shouldn't matter. The textures and all should still work properly, but like I say, Morrigan Hellsing has been more specializing or being specific about doing Cbbe, so there could be a reason that it's more tuned to that, okay? But we will see. I do not know that for sure. I do know that the mod worked. I just thought for my taste some of it didn't look necessarily the way I wanted. However, that's going to be very subjective, so you know, you should always check things out and see what you think. You know, watch the video, see what you think. And again, we'll be looking at this. We'll just be doing, while I'm doing some playthroughs, we'll probably take a look at some of these people and see how they look with this, because all of these mods that we're showing in our Owwies award show, they are all going to be part of the ultimate load order for 2020 that we will do. Alright, so moving on to the next category. Alright, so far and away the most popular utility or camera mod was dynamic camera. People really like dynamic camera. It's really great if you're playing in third person. It gives you that freedom to move your camera around and fix it up the way you want it. It's a very super nice mod, very small mod, made by Arendelle, Arendelle has made a lot of good mods, okay, so I'm just going to say it like that. The only thing is, with this mod, you do want to make sure that you use the aiming mod. I do want to show that very quickly, if I can find it. Yes, the proper aiming mod. You want to make sure you use that so that your archery and stuff will work properly. Your aiming will be correct, I will say. Otherwise, you will always be off, and it would be a little difficult for you. Alright, so anyway, this is dynamic camera, and again, this is the most popular utility or camera mod for the year 2020 that I did a spotlight on. And again, I was kind of surprised, but it was a pleasant surprise to see that everybody liked this. It was like I said, it was a very good mod. I don't use it for my purposes for other reasons, but it is a very good mod, and it's very useful. So, moving right along. And our most popular skeleton mod is XP32 Maximum Skeleton Special Extended with TBBP animations. and more. Anyway, Morrigan Helsing made this version of the XP32 Maximum Skeleton, including TBBP, got rid of the twirling, but anyway, it has some very good things to it. It's very nice to have everything included all in one mod, so if you want to, and I use this mod all the time, and this is not subjective, this mod video had a lot of views. So anyway, but I do use this mod all the time. Matter of fact, there's a number of these mods that I've used off and on, and some I would use more if I had more time to do them, but you know, with doing the shows and things, I really don't have that kind of time all the time. Time all the time. Yes, we got time all the time. Okay, anyway, so XP32 Maximum Skeleton is it has the TBBP animation, so you can get the catwalk animation from it. You don't get the twirling. Let's see, what does it have? It also has some custom ragdoll settings. Now, it does have the XP32 skeleton, okay? So you don't need any other skeleton mod. However, if for some reason you prefer, you can use another skeleton below this and overlay that skeleton. It's up to you what you do. What I would suggest that when you use the XP32 skeleton, any of the XP32 skeleton mods, put them really way down low, underneath any bodies and other things that may talk about skeletons. You know, put it down low so that you get the skeleton you want and so that everything works. For a lot of animations and different things, you're going to need that skeleton, and you're going to want it low. Now, this one does have animations built in, so be aware of that. That may change your mind. There is another version, XP32 skeleton only, where it's just a skeleton, and you can always get that if you don't want all these animations, and plug it in low in your load order, and it will give you what you want, which is it will give you a game that does not crash because of animated chess pieces and stuff like that. But you won't have the animations. You'll just have that skeleton, which will allow things to function without the breakage, you know. So if you are taking chess pieces off and on, especially females, and your game crashes, most likely you do not have a skeleton mod, and you need that XP32 skeleton mod. Whether or not you want the animations is up to you, but at least get the base skeleton so that you can play with those items and not have your game crash. Okay? Alright, so again, put that low in your load order. It's not a very big mod. If you want the animations and stuff, this is the one to go with. Everybody really liked this. It's a very popular mod. So, alright, now we're going to move on to our next category. And the next category is Armor Add-on. These are armors added to the game. It is a mod that adds armors. It does not replace armors, okay? Alright, so the most popular armor add-on mod that I did spotlights, maybe testing, various shows on, was the amazing world of Bikini Armor. I think I did most of my shows on the Uunp version. However, there is here the Cbbe version, which Morrigan Helsing has done. And actually, Morrigan Helsing has really gone to great lengths to specialize in these Cbbe versions, and they're really not keeping up the Uunp versions so much. So while I tend to prefer the Uunp versions, I will say that the Cbbe version is very nice, just as good, and it's just for Cbbe. And since our ultimate load order is going to involve a lot of Cbbe, this was the version I chose for the show here. Alright, but there is a Uunp version, just so you know, and you can find it very easily by looking up World of Bikini Armor or looking up Bikini Armor. So, this mod is big. It's, you know, almost 775 megabytes. It's big, but it adds a lot of stuff. Now, with this, there is the whole thing about a lot of books that you need to craft different things, etc., etc. You can look at this as kind of I think you will enjoy it most if you look at it as kind of a collecting mod. You need to go find all the books and collect all the books and, build your little collection. And it's kind of fun in that sense if you look at it that way. Now, and I'm okay with that. I think that's fun to do that like one time to make it kind of a quest where I'm going to find the books and etc. etc. However, where it becomes unfun is when I have to do this with every character I make. Because if you're like me, I don't just play one character, I play multiple characters. So for me, it becomes unfun when now I've made a new character and I want to go do stuff, but I'm like, oh, I have to go collect all those books again. I have to go do... That makes it unfun. So, and I think they have removed or they have moved or changed where you can get the books. Now, I don't know all about this one. We'll see. We're going to play around with it some in our ultimate load order, so we'll find out. But we'll find out more about it. But it's a very popular mod. I will tell you that it has all these Bikini Armors, which are very nice, very cool. Very good mod. Very well done. If you're into this type of thing and you want to see the Bikini Armors, that is the way to go, especially if you like the Nephilim shape. Okay? So, again, a very good mod, and it's a new mod for 2020, as well as the fact that I did the shows. I think this one was brand new in 2020, though. That would have been early on, I guess, in the year. Nonetheless, that is the end of our categories. That's all the categories. That's all the categories that were worthy of showing. Things had to have a certain number of views. Most of these that we're going to be talking about at least had around 1,000 views or more on my channel. That's a reasonable number of views, I know. Laugh if you will. For other channels, that's nothing. But nonetheless, that is something. So, and then some of these had a lot more than that, okay? But I'm just saying, as a minimum threshold, it had to have a certain number of views to be worthwhile having even a category for it and to even mention it. Alright? Alright, so next we're going to do our countdown of the Skyrim top 15 mods. And this is top 15 mods by views. Okay? So we're going to start with that next. Number 15. Number 15 is Asher's Quality Cbbe Skin Replacer. Now, we've already shown this because it won its category. It's an excellent skin texture replacer for Cbbe. Really enjoy it. It's not very big. It's very nice, okay? Number 14. Number 14 is the Fragment of Nocturnal. Again, our follower mod comes in at number 14. Very interesting mod. A lot of fun, and people showed a lot of interest in this mod, so that was very nice. Alright, moving on. Number 13. Yes, number 13 is Pro's Uunp 7BO. That is 7 base OPI body. So this was Pro Manslayer's entry into the OPI body mods. Okay, it does use the underwear bikini that you see here. It will not have the tan line unless you use that texture that Pro Manslayer provided. However, this body too does have a skeleton and has the same little issue. Yeah, okay, they said here, Lots said the skeleton didn't come through correctly, and they're not going to try to remake this, so that's fine. So all you have to do is use XP32 below it, and you won't have any trouble. And it's really not that inconvenient. They say sorry for the inconvenience. I remember I had a brief conversation in comments, or maybe it was in Discord, I don't remember, with Pro Manslayer somewhere. And basically, I think they were given a hard time by Bethesda over some of this, even though there's really nothing wrong with it. But over something else unrelated to these bodies. But they weren't sure why the skeleton didn't work. But if we just use our skeleton down below it, I noticed that it works perfectly fine. If you use an XP32 skeleton below, you will not have any trouble. Okay? Alright, So that is number 13, and that is Pro's Uunp 7BO, that 7 base OPI body, which just means it has more top. It's a little top heavy. There you go. How's that? We'll say it that way. Alright, moving on. Number 12. Number 12 is Mpc Armor's Clothes and Replacer, the skimpy version. Now, this whole, you have to kind of know this whole category, TMB. Now, TMB, I forget what TMB is supposed to stand for, but it doesn't really matter. What they tried to do was do a a kind of a Cbbe curvy body, okay? But they tried to do it in a Uunp shape, and then they made the skimpy armor and clothes replacer for it, and they made, in this category, you'll also see a body, a couple of body versions, and you'll see that they also made a vanilla. And it's just to give you an option that is similar to Cbbe, but it's in a Uunp body, so that you can still use a lot of other mods. Because Skyrim on the Xbox, I'm just going to say it, it's really not a huge Cbbe place. I mean, we do have some, and we're getting more Cbbe things, but especially when I first started modding years ago in Skyrim with the the special edition and the Xbox One, there was like almost no Cbbe out here other than just the standard one, which is not that, it's just not that big a deal. It's like, it's okay, but it's not anything super fantastic. Now, mind you, that's very subjective, and that's me. That's just me, but I'm giving you my subjectiveness there, okay? I don't think I was the only one that thought that, and that's why you get so many of these other creations. But in this case, this person was like, I want to be able to use Uunp stuff because there's so much Uunp stuff to be used. But I still want a body that's similar to the Cbbe body, and I want a similar replacer, and so that's what they did. So they made the whole thing. They made the body, and they made these clothing replacers. Now, in this one was the most popular of their clothing armor and clothing replacers, the skimpy one, and it's TMB. And again, this is number 12, and this was by Modder725. Number 11. Number 11 is Cbbe, Nephilim, Bad Dog, Uunp, Armor, and okay, this is just way too much. Let me read this the way it is here. Cbbe, Nephilim Shape, BD, Uunp, Armor, and Clothing Replacer. Okay, so that is number 11 in our overall mods of 2020. I do believe this mod was actually created in 2020, though it would have been pretty early in the year. And it's been a very popular mod, as has the Nephilim body shape, and a lot of Morrigan Helsing's mods are very popular. So this should not surprise you that it made number 11. It's a very good mod. I think we've already discussed this. It's not even too big for what it is. It's still under 400 megabytes, so pretty good job there, I think. So depends on what you like and what you think, but I think that's pretty good. Alright. Okay, so we're continuing our countdown. We're getting ready to crack the top 10. Alright, before we go into the top 10, just a reminder that these mods may not have all been created in 2020, but we did do a spotlight on them. We did do a show, or maybe even multiple shows on them in 2020, and these shows were popular. So these top mods are being basically determined by your views of the videos, okay? So, just think about that for the future so that you'll be able to support the mods you want to support for next year's Owwies show, because, this is such a big event. We know that the industry will not long survive without the annual Owwies. Thank you very much, and now back to our show. Number 10. Yes, we're cracking the top 10 with Lynn's Skyrim Mpc Overhaul. I'm sure I'm not saying that name right. Don't worry about it. I've not said it right all year. This is not going to change. 200 megabytes, and all your people look pretty doggone good. Now, it's not perfect, okay? And they say they fixed some freeze on some quests. I never knew that there were some freezes. Nonetheless, this just gives them a very good, nice look. It's not, it does throw in some nice hairdos, and it's not, you know, it's not earth-shattering. It's barely over 200 megabytes. It's really a good mod, a very excellent mod. If you're low on space and you just want, you know, want people to look good without, you know, you don't want to go to extremes, you don't want to devote too much space to it, this is a good option. I did shows on it. I've shown it several times, I think. And it even helps improve a lot of the guys. They look a lot better. It is worth the space to me just to get, even just to get the guys looking good. Though I could stand to have a version of this that just had men and didn't include the girls. But nonetheless, that's okay. And it's a very good mod. It works very well, and it cleans everybody up, and they still look, really, you could look at it and say, wow, this could still almost be vanilla, but they look really good. I mean, vanilla, if you truly go back to the vanilla game, everybody's pretty hard looking. So this is really a very nice but small Mpc Overhaul. Okay? Alright, we're climbing the ladder. Number 9. Yes, number 9. Number 9 is XP32 skeleton only. Of course, this would be a popular option for people who don't want the Cbbe. Wait, did they add that in? This originally was XP32. It was just a skeleton. It did not have any animations in this mod. Okay, I don't think this has Cbbe. I think this is just a skeleton. Wow. Okay, anyway, this is a popular mod regardless of any changes that may have occurred or what has happened. I'm pretty sure that this really doesn't have Cbbe, or if it does, it doesn't have it in the same way. It doesn't have the animations that like Morrigan Helsing's version does. This does have a XP32 skeleton, and that skeleton does work because I remember playing around with this. We did try this, but from what I remembered, it says it fixed it to work with Cbbe, and they included Cbbe, but I thought they removed it. Alright, nonetheless, it should be, the name says XP32 skeleton only. That's what it really should be. If they have since changed it, I can't help that. Nonetheless, this was a popular mod. It did reach number 9 on our list, so it was a popular mod with people, and I really thought the reason it was popular was that it did not have the animations, because some people don't want the animations. They just want a good skeleton that allows them to play the game and use any armor they want to use, which is fine. Number 8. Okay, that was horrible. Anyway, we're going to move on. Number 8. Number 8. Now, this is a work-in-progress mod, okay? I will tell you, this is not in your normal mods, okay? This is the Cbbe Nephilim Shape Terra Armors Collection. To find this, you're going to have to go down here to the work-in-progress. You're going to have to let your screen load. Dun 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 dun. Okay, this is taking too long. I'll be right back. Alright, so we're back. So, as I was saying, number 8, Cbbe Nephilim Shape Terra Armors. The only way to find this mod and get this mod out of work in progress, well, not the only way, the easiest way, use this mod, UGG Mods Manager Cap. Use that mod. I don't care if you watch the video or not. Put it down at the bottom of your load order. Then, you'll be able to find this mod. What you will do is you will come down to Works in Progress. Dun, 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 dun. We'll get there. Just give me a moment. Okay, you're going to come down here. I don't care how many mods are here. There's a bunch. And you're going to scroll. And you're going to scroll. And you're going to scroll. And you're going to let it scroll. And you're going to scroll some more. And you're going to let it scroll some more. and you're going to continue to scroll. And then eventually, we're getting close. Eventually, you will see it. Did I go past it? Oh, don't tell me I went past it. Oh my goodness. Nope, I've not gone past it yet. There it is. Yay. Eventually, you will get there. However, if you do not have that mod, the UGG Mods Manager Cap, whatever, Mods Cap Manager, whatever it is, if you don't have that mod, you will probably not be able to get over to this mod, okay? But it is down in works in progress, and you can get it. And it has only the female Terra armors. It does not have the male Terra armors, not terror, but Terra. So it has, remember to use this mod, UGG Mods Manager Cap, okay? Alright, anyway, but number 8 is the Terra Armors Collection for the Nephilim shape. And this again is by Morrigan Helsing. This only includes the female armors, does not include any of the male armors. That's why it's smaller than any of the other Terra mods, okay? However, that did not dissuade me from trying it out, and if you really like it, that should not dissuade you from using it, okay? Alright, now if you want, there are other packs that have the male armors if you want those, so you could use one of the other packs. Of course, this one is specific to the Nephilim shape, so. But in the Nephilim shape and in the Nephilim world, we're probably only concerned about the girls anyway, alright? Okay, just being honest, just being fair, being upfront, alright? Okay, moving right along. Number 7. Yes, number 7 is Pro's Uunp Seraphim body. It is the only Seraphim body left out here that I'm aware of, because the original Seraphim body creator, Alpine YJ, took theirs down. They took down a lot of their mods. And I called their mods slightly racy because that's really all they were. They weren't super sexy mods. They weren't ultra revealing mods. The one mod, the Skimpy Armor Replacer that was made for Seraphim, okay, you know, that one had a lot of booty showing, but overall, you know, for the most part, they weren't that racy or anything, nothing surprising, but they took them down. They didn't want their kids to ever see that they had done that. So, you know, I mean, that's, you know, it's one sign, okay, that if you're doing something that's bad for you, that's wrong for you, if it bothers you to the point that you don't want anyone else in your family to see or know you're doing it, yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing it. And because it bothers your conscience, not because it's necessarily wrong, but if it bothers your conscience, it's probably wrong for you to do it, you know. That's because you're judging yourself. That's why it bothers your conscience. I'm not trying to say that we should be mean to each other or put each other down. I'm just saying, if it bothers your conscience, if it bothers you to do something, if you're having to hide it and be secretive about it, then you probably shouldn't be doing it because for some reason you believe inherently somehow that something's wrong with it or that it's wrong. So just an idea, just a little personal, you know, thoughts. Don't worry about it. It's free. It doesn't, you know, you don't even have to agree. It's fine. I just thought I would throw that out there. Anyway, so Pro's Uunp Seraphim, that was number 7. And it is a good Uunp body. I don't know if there's much Seraphim armor and stuff left out here. There probably is. But probably not a lot. But if you wanted that body, well, there you go. You got it. So, and it will have that bikini, so you might be interested in that. Moving along. Number 6. That sounded horrible. Okay, our number 6 entry is the Definitive Beauty Pack, which probably deserved a better promotional push from me as far as number 6. Because this is a very excellent mod. It's very good. As far as I know, there's not any issues with it. Of course, you cannot mix and match this with every mod in the world out there, because this does a certain amount of things. However, it is really a great mod. So if you haven't tried it, you should really try it out maybe in your next playthrough. Of course, if you don't care about the girls, then don't bother. But if you want your females to look better, you know, that's the whole idea. I would like to see something similar to this for males, actually. That would be fantastic, though. There is kind of a NPC Botox for males, though I haven't totally finished looking at that, and I'm not sure if I'm really super impressed with it, so we'll see. Alright, okay, so moving along here, this is number 6, the Definitive Beauty Pack from Morrigan Hellsing. I really think it probably deserves to be higher, but nonetheless, this is where it is. This is what we have. It is a great mod, okay? Alright, so now we're getting ready to crack that top 5. The top 5 are coming up.
Affirmative. Moving up now.
And now, before we get into the top 5, have you ever considered just possibly clicking that subscription button? Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Okay, moving right along, that's the end of our... what would you call it? Oh, that's the end of our commercial break. Yeah, okay. Number 5 is just new female animations. Number 5 is just new female animations. I was surprised, but this mod seemed to be fairly popular, or at least it had a lot of views on the video. If you'll notice here, it has a lot of favorites. It seems like a very popular mod. So, make sure that if you're using, probably, okay, most likely if you're using this, you're probably going to want to play girls, because if you play a guy, he will take on some weird feminine mannerisms sometimes, and that kind of creeped me out a little bit. But it's not the worst thing in the world, but it was kind of funny. So anyway, though, that is number 5, just new female animations. Number 4. Yes, number 4 is Morrigan's Mpc Replacer. Of course, Morrigan being Morrigan Hellsing. They have made their own Mpc Replacer, and I'm going to say this like in this manner. It is akin to a Botox. It is not strictly speaking Botox. They said they created this from scratch. I'm going to take them at their word until someone proves otherwise, okay? Now, no doubt, the idea kind of came from Botox, but that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting a good idea from someone else. So they created this from scratch. Let's see, do they say that here? This is my new Mpc Replacer. They decided to remake it from scratch, so there you go. Contains new faces and is more optimized. What more could you want, okay? Alright, so now it's a pretty big mod. It's actually 2 mods. You know, for the Xbox, it's 2 mods, 2 files, but I consider it still to be just one big mod, okay? And there's some optional files that you can get for it. You don't have to have those, so I didn't include those. Optional is just optional, okay? So if you want them, you can definitely use them, no problem, okay? Alright, okay, now we're getting ready to move up into the Trinity. Number 3. Alright, number 3 is Dynamic Camera. And I was surprised, but I probably shouldn't be. It's a small mod. It's great for playing third person, and so people really enjoy having the dynamic camera, so you can set your camera the way you want it to be for your playstyle. So it's really great, and if you think about it, it makes sense. This is an older mod. It was not a 2020 mod, but I happened to do a show on it in 2020, and it's a great mod. It works. I remember going through some of the different functions and the things you can do, and it is very good. It works great, and that allows you to mess around. And again, I think it's most useful if you're playing third person. However, it has some other functionality, so I'm not trying to in any way put it down. I remember liking and thinking this is a very good mod. You know, I don't use it a lot. That's not because there was anything wrong with the mod. It's just that I didn't feel I particularly needed a lot of those functions. That's just me. It's just me. It doesn't mean anything. It's a very good mod, and I know a lot of people like it. And let's see, if you look at the favorites, it's got a lot of people who have favorited this and use it and like it. It's highly rated. Hey, rate that up there. You know, sometimes I don't know how this rating system works. I don't think it works properly. Sometimes I come down here and I fill up all the stars and I hit the A button, and yet I'll come back maybe a month later or whatever, and it will have changed again. So, to all the modders out there, just so you know, I do try to favorite and rate your mods because I enjoy them, okay? But sometimes I feel like the ratings don't really hold, like they don't stick, okay? Alright. So, alright. So that was number 3, so we're ready for the big 2. Ready for the big 2. Back in a moment. Number 2! Yes, number 2 is the XP32 Maximum Skeleton Special Extended with TBP animations, XBM, SSE, and TB. It's a mouthful. Anyway, it's not surprising to see Morrigan Hellsing and their mods having a lot of the top spots here in our show of our review of 2020 and our show of the top mods of 2020. It's not surprising, and a lot of these mods were actually created in 2020, or maybe a few were created in late 2019. Okay, but it's just not surprising. They've been doing a lot of excellent mods. They've really got their own style and theme that they are pushing, and I think it's a theme that is widely accepted and people are widely interested in, obviously, because you can see that a lot of these mods get a lot of love and a lot of favorites, and for good reason. And, you know, we've seen Morrigan Hellsing get started, and I know they're a newer modder, and I know that from what I've read in their comments, they're still learning as they go, but they do a good job on their mods. Is everything always 100% perfect? No, but neither is anything else in life. They're doing the best they can, and they do a good job for us. We should appreciate that, okay? They are really trying to stay, and it's kind of odd that they're doing this, but they're really trying to stay Xbox exclusive, you know, and they want to stay on Bethesda net. So that's nice for us. That's very good for us. We should really be appreciative of that, okay? Now, if you don't like this theme of theirs, they do some other mods that have nothing to do with girls and femininity, though I admit there's not as many of those, but there are some. And, you know, maybe you can appreciate those mods for what they are, okay? Alright, so next up is our number 1, the top reveal, the big kahuna, the most popular mod of 2020. Number 1! Okay, enough of that. Anyway, the crowd goes wild, right? Okay, the Amazing World of Bikini Armor. Now, there are 2 versions of this. I just happen to be showing the Cbbe version, okay? But there is another version. We're going to look it up very quickly here, live, on the air. Okay, we're not live and we're not on the air, but nonetheless, we're going to look it up right now. And I'm just going to be as silly as we can be. We might as well have some fun doing this, right? Hopefully, you'll get a little kick out of it, a little chuckle for your day, and we'll all be happy, right? So the world of Bikini Armor, and there's a bunch of stuff, expanded stuff, all this other stuff. But nonetheless, here is the Uunp version, which is out there. Now the Uunp version is a lot smaller, but I will tell you that it's there and it works, and it's good. And I think this is the version I did my shows on. But this is the Cbbe version that I'm showing, and it's a lot bigger. Now, I'm not sure why it's so much bigger, but it is. But nonetheless, regardless of the version, it's a very good mod. It's very popular. You can see this here has, 34,000 favorites? Does this have? Now, the Uunp does not have as many, because I think a lot of the people that are following Morrigan Hellsing, you know, they they use that theme. They use that Cbbe Nephilim body shape and that theme, you know. So I think that's being used a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a choice. Nonetheless, the Amazing World of Bikini Armor, which is really a port that they got permission to do for their Nephilim body shape. Okay, so I don't want to say anything wrong and get Morrigan Helsing in trouble, but it's really a port. Okay, it is not like they made it totally on their own. It is a port. Now, not that they have not made some modifications and changes, they certainly have, and they give credits to like the Milk Drinker and all these people. You'll have to look and see. I don't know all these people, even a Midian born and all that. Okay, so that is and has been, if I could just speak properly, the #1 mod on our spotlights and our shows for the whole year has been the Amazing World of Bikini Armor. Okay, now maybe someday we'll do a lifetime show and I'll do, like, you know, just what have been the most popular videos and stuff like that of the channel. Let me know if you're interested in something like that. But then that would just be more about the channel. That wouldn't necessarily be about the mods. So I sort of, while that came across my mind for a moment, I kind of ended up just going, no, that's not what we're after. So what we're after here is, of course, what were the most popular best mods, and I made it a viewer's choice awards type of thing, where your views really drive it. Now, I didn't include any mods that were terribly broken or anything like that, but I found that just naturally this selection process naturally weeds those out. You guys, if a mod if it's broken and it's not very good, y'all tend to just not even watch those videos. So that pretty much solves that problem. Now, are there certain mods that are getting overlooked because they didn't get a lot of views? Yes, maybe. And maybe you'll see some of those in my Ultimate Load Order shows, which is going to be coming up next. But, you know, that's life. These are the ones that you found to be the most popular, the most interesting to you. I think that's important that we just do a quick review of that so that you'll understand this is the kind of feedback that I use to continue the channel. So if you want to see different things, if you want to have different things shown, then support those other mods, support those different things that you want to see. Because when I see something that's having a lot of shows, like a lot of views, when I see certain shows get a lot of views, then I'm more apt to do more of those shows. And it's just natural, because I only have so much time. This is not a full-time job for me. This is very much a part-time hobby. So I'm really going to focus on the things that I think the audience wants to see. Now, occasionally I find something I think is really cool or really silly, and I will show that regardless. But, you know, so be it. That's just the way it is. That's because I think it's especially funny or especially good. And you'll see some of that in the Ultimate Load Order, where I will include some things that I think are good. Some are just normal core mods, but some might be a little more than that, okay? Alright, so this has been the 2nd annual Owwies, the award show that hurts. I do appreciate you watching. I would definitely want to thank all my viewers, all my audience, and I want to thank the modders. I want to thank all the modders who make the mods and share them with us. It's a very kind, nice gesture on your part. We really appreciate it. I know maybe not everybody, there's always that low percentage of people, I know, that are just whatever. It's just like I can be the grumpy man, the grumpy old dude at times, I know. But it's a low percentage of time that I'm the grumpy old guy. Not that I'm never the grumpy old guy, but it's a low percentage of time. I try to keep that down. And I think most people are inherently, better than that. I think most people are better than that. So, but I want to thank the modders and everybody for watching, and want to let you know that this has been an exclusive production by OwwThatSmarts which means mainly me, which is why there is such a low budget and low quality effort here. But it is what it is, right? Okay. So hope y'all just enjoy it and get a little chuckle out of it. It's part of our year in review, and we're going to do the ultimate load orders next, and so hopefully you'll enjoy those. So I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Good night. God bless, and I will catch you later. Live and love. Woo. Live and love. Beware the manhandler. Yeah. $39. My goodness. Okay. For a magazine, $39. Yeah. We better have some manhandling going on. Good Lord.